How many scandals has Sydney Sweeney been caught up in since launching her incredible career as an actress? There's a lot to think about beyond her physical beauty and charm. We've rounded up the most interesting and jaw-dropping rumors, scandals, bombshells, and controversies that have come out since Sydney rose to fame. Stick around for all the most fascinating details. First scandal? Sydney might have Trump supporter family members. Did Sydney vote for Donald Trump in the 2024 election? As of now, that's a huge question mark because she never confirmed who she was voting for. However, it was rumored that tons of her family members are full-fledged MAGA heads. Pics from her mother's birthday celebration spread like wildfire on social media, since a lot of people photographed there were seen rocking MAGA-style hats. Sydney received backlash about the drama, and she was quick to shut everything down. In an interview with Variety, the actress said, "There were so many misinterpretations. The people in the pictures weren't even my family." It was also specified that the red hat said, "Make 60 great again," instead of "Make America great again." She noted that since the celebration took place in Idaho, her mom's friends thought the MAGA theme would be funny. The reality is that a lot of her fans didn't exactly find it amusing. One of Sydney's biggest roles happens to be Euphoria, which has a large audience of the girls, the gays, and the theys. The girls and the gays have rallied behind Sydney to give her love and support, so a lot of fans were disappointed by the idea of Sydney's family being on the non-progressive side of history. Second scandal? Her fiancé is much older and not financially supportive at all. Sydney made it very clear that her much older fiancé, Jonathan Davino, does not help her out financially. They've been engaged since 2022, and they have a 13-year age gap between them. As of this publication, she's 27 years old and he's 40. She talked about it openly with Glamour magazine, saying, "I'm a very successful, independent woman who's worked really hard. I have accomplished and bought everything myself, and I provide for myself and my family." Although she sounded like a true girl boss, her words have not been received on social media. Part of the reason why is because Sydney's previously described feeling like she's been in survival mode her entire life. She feels like all financial stress and pressure is on her shoulders, and that it's up to her to take care of everyone, including her own parents. One fan wrote, "Jonathan should be ashamed of himself and embarrassed. He's an old man bringing zero financial relief to Sydney's life. A man who really loves a woman would never be comfortable watching her struggle. Women should never be in survival mode if they have a man in their life, especially not beautiful women." Third scandal? She fueled rumors about an alleged affair with Glenn Powell. Even though it's widely known that Sydney's in a relationship with Jonathan, a lot of people believed she was secretly hooking up with Glenn while they filmed Anyone But You together. The romantic comedy did incredibly well at the box office, but is it true that it didn't fare too well for Glenn's real-life relationship? Glenn was dating a woman named Gigi Paris while filming the movie. News of his breakup with Gigi started spreading in the media, and a lot of people instantly started blaming Sydney. It turns out Sydney and Glenn purposely leaned into the affair rumors to hype up their movie to get more fans excited about checking it out in theaters. There never really was anything going on between Sydney and Glenn behind the scenes, though. A source told People magazine, "Gigi and Glenn had broken up several times. They had been on the rocks since Top Gun came out. Gigi was never happy with the long-distance filming, and when she came to Australia where Glenn was filming Anyone But You, they both decided to break up for good." Another source went on to say, "It wasn't about infidelity. She's on different coasts modeling, he's on different coasts filming. When she left, they were on great terms." Fourth scandal? Sydney was sued for breach of contract with a bikini brand. In 2022, Sydney dealt with a lawsuit from a swimsuit company called LA Collective. They did their best to get $4.3 million out of her. The reason they sued her is because she allegedly broke her contract with them after agreeing to a partnership. According to LA Collective, Sydney was on board to be the leading influencer for the launch of their line. They projected that it would sell at least $3 million worth of swimsuits with her help as the main face on the project. However, she decided she was no longer interested in participating. LA Collective then decided to sue her for damages. In 2023, Sydney scored a victory against the brand when LA Collective blew off the hearing they were supposed to attend to continue fighting her. Fifth scandal? Rumors about her alleged feud with Lily Reinhart made their rounds in 2023. Why exactly did people think Sydney and Lily were feuding? It comes down to an awkward interaction they had at a red carpet event. They were filmed approaching each other within a group of other actors, and for a second it looked like Sydney and Lily weren't super ecstatic to see each other. Of course, The cringy red carpet moment was simply blown way out of proportion because there was never any bad blood between the blondes. It just goes to show that celebs shouldn't have to force and fake smiles 24/7 to prove they're on friendly terms. Lily and Sydney ended up posting a cute selfie together to show everyone they're just fine, even though tons of people were salivating at the opportunity to pit them against each other. Lily also posted a tweet shutting the feud narrative down, saying, "Stop making villains out of women every chance you get." Sixth scandal? Producer Carol Baum slammed Sydney's talent and beauty, and Sydney clapped back. Let's just be real. Carol was disgustingly out of line when she tried to bash Sydney for no apparent reason. Carol came at Sydney foul, completely unprovoked, and it honestly made her look like a jealous old lady. Carol called attention to the fact that she's an aged woman who's no longer in her prime. She made it obvious that she's jealous of young, beautiful women who are successful. Carol had the audacity to tear Sydney down, saying, "Explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot?" Sydney clapped back because she wasn't about to take those insults lying down. A well-spoken representative from Sydney's team told Variety, "How sad that a woman in the position to share her expertise and experience chooses instead to attack another woman. If that's what she's learned in her decades in the industry and feels is appropriate to teach to her students, that's shameful. To unjustly disparage a fellow female producer speaks volumes about Miss Baum's character." Carol's pathetic jealousy of Sydney could not be more obvious. Seventh scandal? She was caught illegally pirating Law & Order. One of the funniest scandals on this list happens to be the time Sydney was called out for pirating an episode of Law & Order using an illegal streaming platform that gives viewers access to free movies and TV shows. A fan posted a screenshot of Sydney's pirated TV screen and a caption that said, "My girl pirating, so real." Another understanding fan responded with, "All the shows we want to watch are on different streaming services. We're not paying for 8 different services, and neither is Miss Sweeney." Since Sydney has a net worth of $40 million, some of her fans are confused about why she hasn't signed up for streaming platforms and paid for them in a legal manner. Ever since Sydney posted that pic, she hasn't shared additional updates about the method in which she continues to stream her favorite entertainment. Eighth scandal? Her involvement in Madame Web, which was a commercial flop. Film critics have had nothing but terrible things to say about Madame Web since it premiered. Sydney signed on to star in the movie playing the role of Julia Cornwall. She starred in it alongside Dakota Johnson and Emma Roberts. Although it was hyped by the media based on its trailers before it actually hit theaters, a lot of people were thoroughly disappointed when they actually watched it. It received a 4 out of 10 rating on IMDb and an 11% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Sydney has gone out of her way to distance herself from the movie since it was a total failure at the box office. During opening weekend, it only raked in $17.6 million, which is incredibly low compared to other superhero movies that we've seen. Sydney brushed off the failure with the LA Times, saying, "I was just hired as an actress in it, so I was just along for the ride for whatever was going to happen." In other words, she had no real stake in it, and she wasn't really that devastated that it didn't do well. After all, it's not like it's the only project Sydney's been attached to in recent years. Ninth scandal? Fans heavily accused her of selling out based on some of the brand deals she's agreed to do. One of Sydney's minor scandals on this list is the fact that she's been accused of being a total sellout. The reason these accusations have been popping up in a flurry is that she's agreed to do so many brand deals in such a short period of time. Some of the brands she represented on Instagram alone include Juice, Dr. Squatch Natural Body Wash, Kerastase, Laneige, and Armani Beauty. This scandal likely doesn't keep Sydney up at night, though. A lot of her fans totally respect her hustle and understand that she's all about getting her bag. Sydney is focused on earning her coin, however that might occur. While it's true that she earns a lot of her income by starring in TV shows and movies, the brand deals she agrees to do are a massive reason why she's been able to accrue a $40 million net worth. A little bit of judgment from irrelevant people who think she's a sellout certainly isn't going to turn her off from building her wealth. 10th scandal? The boob job rumors. A huge rumor that's circulated about Sydney over the years is that she got a boob job done. Sydney has gone out of her way to end plastic surgery rumors by claiming that she's always been all natural. Specifically, we're referring to her bust line. One of the big compliments she gets from her fans is that she's got great cleavage that looks exceptional in bikini tops and low-cut dresses. She told Glamour UK, "When I was in high school, I used to feel uncomfortable about how big my boobs were, and I used to say that when I turned 18, I was going to get a boob job to make them smaller. And my mom told me, don't do it, you'll regret it in college. And I'm so glad I didn't. I like them. They're my best friends. Flaunt what you got. Own it. Love them. In other words, Sydney's hourglass figure has always been a part of her life since she reached adulthood. We should forever put the boob job rumors to rest. What are your thoughts on all these scandals, rumors, and bombshells? Do you agree that she's still just as lovable as ever, no matter how many negative headlines might have been in circulation about her in the past? We sure do. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.